Power Rangers was up and running, and quickly began to root itself in the American mainstream. Meanwhile in Japan, Super Sentai's legacy would continue to grow, while simultaneously adding to the one that Power Rangers was building in America. 8,000 years ago in China, the Taoist Empire was made up of 3 tribes that lived together in peace: the Dai, the Gorma, and the Shura. Until one day the Gorma attempted to take over, thus causing a war between the Dai tribe that would last 5,000 years. Using the power of Ki to transform themselves into monsters, the Gorma would finally meet their match, when 5 warriors of the Dai tribe, with increased Ki, would gain control of the mythical Ki beast and end the conflict with the Gorma. And with that, the Dai, Gorma, and the Shura would disperse and be lost in the mists of time. In the present, the Gorma tribe resurfaces, once again with conquest on their agenda. Master Kaku, a powerful Ki wielder, gathers 5 young people with immense Ki power. Under his tutelage, they become the 5-star squadron Dai Ranger, humanity's protectors against the Gorma. So the name prior to Dairanger that was considered was actually Dairanger for this series. And in this series we see the first time that a 6th hero is a White Ranger, and it's also the first time that we get a child as a part of the team. In this case, 9-year-old Ko, who becomes the Kiba Ranger. We also see that the mythical beasts in this series and the Kiba Ranger footage is used later on in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 2 as the Thunder Zords and White Ranger footage. In America, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was still enjoying rousing success. With the first season airing a whopping 60 episodes, a second season was already on the way.
We filmed so fast and furious, like a year into the show, that we had filmed for a year, 2 episodes a week, which is twice as fast as any other major series, sometimes 3 episodes a week. I did as much of my stunts and own choreography as I could, which almost all of it, as much as I could. The first 40 episodes, they literally cut and paste the fight footage into our show, so we didn't even have the opportunity to be doing the fight footage with the putties and stuff because it was done. So we only did the face fight footage. And then after 40, they ran out of whatever they ran out of, and we started making more of it there.
So because Dairanger was only 50 episodes long, they burned through that stock footage pretty quickly and had to reuse a lot of it. So Saban Entertainment contacted Toei and asked them to go ahead and shoot new footage specifically for the purpose of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is what came to be known as the Ju-2 footage. But with the Ju-2 footage also being quickly expended, this would give the cast and crew a unique opportunity to create all new fight scenes with the monster and ranger suits for Season 2.
And then we got the opportunities to where I could jump into my suit and actually do a fight, which was great. I love that.
All we were trying to do was make the best show that we could make given what we had. And we had to reinvent how to make a TV show in the process, because we couldn't make this show the way you normally make a show. There was extra processes that we had to put in and extra steps in order to make it make sense, in order to make it to work, because we're combining a television show that already exists with new footage that we're shooting.
Another interesting thing to note about the Season 2 premiere of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is that it actually aired in primetime. The second season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers sees the introduction of a new, more powerful menace, the evil Emperor, Lord Zed. He expresses his displeasure with Rita Repulsa's inability to conquer the Earth and properly deal with the Rangers. He then banishes her and launches his assault on Angel Grove with powerful new putties and monsters. When the Rangers try to use their Dinozords, he easily dispatches them, leaving the Rangers in despair. However, when all seems lost, Zordon unveils powerful new Zords, capable of stopping Zed's monsters, the Thunder Zords. So in this second season, we already see a lot of Power Rangers history being made. It's the first time that we see the all-original villain, Lord Zed. We also see new mecha for the Rangers, as well as weaponry, that being the Thunder Zords and the Power Cannon. We see the first time that a Ranger changes his color, that being Tommy, when he goes from the Green Ranger to White Ranger after his Green Ranger powers are finally depleted. There was also sudden changes like the leadership changing hands from Jason to Tommy. The transfer of power between Rangers, and this happened due to a mid-season cast change when we see the characters of Jason, Trini, and Zach leave the show, and then they are replaced by the worthy newcomers Rocky, Aisha, and Adam, who become the new Red, Yellow, and Black Rangers. With Season 2, the show would continue to reach new heights. Some of the changes would serve to bolster Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and others would raise questions. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers would also find itself the subject of controversies, both internal and external. So there was complaints, or maybe I should say concerns by parents that the show was too violent and scary for kids. Too violent because of the martial arts action and fighting, too scary because of characters like Lord Zed, who looked like he belonged in a horror movie and not a kids' TV show. And there was some internal conflict as well with Saban Entertainment with the departure of Austin St. John, Tweed Train, and Walter Jones leaving the show midway through the filming of Season 2.
We had some conversations maybe at some point that maybe could have gone better. We didn't see eye to eye on what he was paying us in the show. Right. And very quickly that went to attorneys and we stopped talking about it.
To the best of my knowledge, it was due to the fact that neither party could really come to terms over fair compensation. The actors felt that they should be more fairly compensated due to the fact that the show had already made Saban Entertainment a ton of money, and they ended up parting ways because they could not come to terms. That's what brought in Steve Cardenas, Johnny Young Bosch, and Karen Ashley to replace them.
As a matter of fact, I didn't even know. I thought they were just augmenting the cast. I didn't know that they were replacing anybody, you know? So they said, we're looking for new Power Rangers. I didn't know that they were, I thought maybe they were going to add people to the team and, you know, they were going to have a bigger cast and so on and so forth. That's what I thought.
First off, when we came on the show, we didn't know that we were replacing anyone. We didn't know what went down. We didn't know any of the information until we got there and we saw that these stand-ins were there instead of the actual actors. Then we were like, oh, I guess something went down, and now we're taking their place.
And this was a polarizing thing because although the new characters were likable characters, it was a big change in the show, and not all fans took to that too kindly. So there was, and this again is to the best of my knowledge, a slight decrease in ratings, but it still was the #1 kids show on TV despite the slight dip in ratings due to this cast change.
But yeah, I didn't see anything like that until years later. And it was through, you know, then it was like, it was online. There's a person who, any anime series that I worked on or any show that I worked on would just bag on every single show, you know, hated me for whatever reason. And, you know, in his comments, there's somebody that asked, you know, what did Johnny do to you or that, whatever. And his response was he replaced my favorite Ranger. So that was the first time that I actually saw, I was like, oh, wow, okay. So, you know, something that was not really in my control at all, you know, somebody can totally hate me. But that was, you know, so that was the only person that I ever saw that really hated me because of that, you know, situation.
Haim is going to be very direct with you, you know what I mean? He's going to just tell you what it is, you know? And as part of my interview process, he said to me directly, he's like, look, you know, this is a non-union show. You're going to make me a lot of money, but you're not going to make any money.
Wow, like that?
Yeah, he said, you're not going to make very much money. And how do you feel about that? And the thing is, he asked me that because I didn't know that they were having contract disputes, and it was the whole reason we were getting replaced and all that, they were being replaced in the first place. So I think he wanted to get an idea as to how I felt about the fact that, you know, we weren't going to get paid very much, even though the show was so popular.
Despite all this, the show would go on and maintain its popularity, capitalizing on this newfound interest in Henshin hero tokusatsu and the public's growing interest in virtual reality technology. Saban Entertainment produced another series, VR Troopers. Well, this show aired in syndication for 2 seasons, and it was actually an adaptation of 3 Metal Hero shows rolled into one, that being Jojeki Metalder, Jiku Senshi Spielbahn, and Space Sheriff Scheider. And even though it wasn't as successful as Power Rangers, VR Troopers was considered a success for Saban Entertainment. But the new influx of hero tokusatsu would not be exclusive to Saban Entertainment. DiC Entertainment, their former allies, seemed to also take interest and would throw their name into the hat. 9 days after the release of VR Troopers, they would air their own tokusatsu adaptation of Tsuburaya Productions' Denku Chojin Gridman, or better known here as Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, a series that would also air in syndication and would star a young Matthew Lawrence in the lead role. Deke also made an original series on the USA Network that I remember watching called Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills, and this show was a parody of sorts of Power Rangers where they really poked fun at a lot of the tropes that you would see in Power Rangers. But despite Deke's efforts, Saban's hype train was full steam ahead, and heading into 1995, Power Rangers would go from the TV screen to the big screen.